Spoiler alert. The following story contains important details about the ending of May-December, now streaming on Netflix. Is it possible to ever truly know someone? That's a lingering question at the end of May-December, the acerbically funny and sneakily devastating new movie from director Todd Haynes, Carol, and first-time screenwriter Samy Burch. The film follows TV star Elizabeth Berry, Natalie Portman, as she travels to Savannah, Georgia, to shadow Gracie Atherton-Yoo, Julianne Moore, whom she is set to play in an upcoming movie. Decades earlier, when she was in her 30s, Gracie had been convicted of seducing and raping 13-year-old Joe, Charles Melton, whom she later married and started a family with. As their now grown kids prepare to graduate high school, Joe begins to process his trauma while Elizabeth attempts in vain to understand Gracie. USA Today spoke to Portman and Moore about the film's ending and that blistering, unbroken-take monologue. Toward the end of the film, Portman delivers a staggering 3-minute monologue directly to camera, as Elizabeth reads an old love letter that Gracie wrote to Joe before their relationship was discovered. In the letter, Gracie admits that, "We had crossed a line, but, now, I think I've lost track of where the line is." After countless hours of studying Gracie's distinctive lisp and mannerisms, it's the first time that Elizabeth fully embodies her subject. She cries as she recites the letter alone in her room, throwing her head back in rapture and relief when she finally reaches the end. "It's such extraordinary writing," Portman says. "There's so much lying and omission of what they don't say to each other. So to then have this moment of performance as truth, that's such a gift for an actress." Those moments alone are so precious in this film because they're such performative people, so you get to actually feel the character when they're not being watched. In the letter, we finally get some information through this lens of Gracie, Burch says. She's not naive. She's absolutely aware of the legal implications, and she's played that very opposite throughout the film. But also, through Natalie, we see a portal into a woman who is very disturbed. That's not a surprise, but it's still very uncomfortable to look at. Portman did 8 takes of the scene, all of which were subtly different but distinct, Haynes says. It was a master class in acting. "It was just a remarkable day," he recalls. "We shot this on the second to last day of the shoot, so there was time for her to absorb Gracie to that degree. It was the scene that I read in the script that made me want to make the film to begin with. And I knew I wanted to shoot it exactly that way." Portman was grateful to save the monologue for the end of the 23-day shoot. "It was really lucky," she says. "Todd created such ideal circumstances for us to work, and part of that was shooting chronologically.